Looks like I got girly pop all up in her feelings.
Okay, well, since all white people ever are responsible for that poor young man's horrific death, I need to know what I need to tell my nephew to do. He's white, by the way. So I need to know what I need to tell him to do to end systemic racism. So what should he do to the cops when he sees it happening? Should he like grab a gun off of them and shoot the cops in the head?
I'm just so confused. I want to go back to what I said for a second.
But none of you get to act fucking surprised or heartbroken when every single time something violent in this country is blamed on mental illness. Black disabled people have been telling you for years now that blaming violent behavior on mental illness only excuses white people while criminalizing black people.
I said none of you. I didn't specify race, but let's move on.
Do I need to become a domestic terrorist to avenge his death?
If you want to.
I'm confused. I just need to know, because if I'm responsible for his death, I want to know how to make it right.
Okay.
What should I do?
You can stop acting like mental illness is the root of all violence in this country. That was the point.
I bet you didn't know that when white people try to go against the system, they get treated worse than the patriarchy hates. Did you know that? Did you? Oh, you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. There's no way that you could possibly know that.
Yes, I don't mean to cut this weepy diatribe and weaponized incompetence short, but I have not been surrounded by white people my entire life and have learned nothing. Otherwise, do you think I would be here right now? In the midst of you talking yourself into circles, you hit upon something that is actually crucially important, which is that the only reason you all don't enact change is because you fear being treated like us, which is why you are all as incompetent as you are. Because the reality is that if you wanted to, you would. If you wanted to, you would. Realistically, this system could not exist without your investment in it. Truthfully. And if you want suggestions, a very simple way to stop this bullshit from happening is to stop blaming every bad thing in this country on mental illness. Like, that's the point. Because it means a death sentence for black people who are from mental health crisis. Because we're conditioning to look at mental health problems as violence. But I don't think you're going to do any of that. I think you're weepy and ineffectual. And have no desire to change any of these systems that benefit you. You even said so yourself. But for those who actually want to do something, look into your local government's initiatives on mental health services, supports for houseless people, see if you can volunteer for different organizations, and get to know the houseless population where you live.